Have you ever felt that certain people come into your life for a greater reason? As if time, distance, or even past mistakes couldn't erase a connection that seems written in the stars. Carl Jung, the great pioneer of depth psychology, believed that the love between destined souls is not a romantic accident. It's a cosmic encounter, programmed at the most secret level of the unconscious. But why do some bonds seem to defy even the laws of the material world? The answer lies in an invisible thread, as old as humanity itself. It's not about blind fate, but a force that works behind the scenes of the psyche, drawing together those who carry within themselves complementary pieces of the same story. When two souls recognize each other, it's not just the heart that beats. It's the ancestral memory of the self-awakening, whispering, "Finally, you found me." But beware, this recognition doesn't come without challenges. Behind the magic of this meeting lies an uncomfortable truth. The love that transforms requires courage. It doesn't promise easy happiness, but the opportunity to face your inner abysses through the mirror the other holds. Are you ready for that journey? If something within you answered yes, then this content was made for your soul, because, as Jung taught, what is true is never lost. It resurfaces whenever we are ready to receive it. And the lingering question is, have you already found that connection, or is it still on its way? The soul's secret code. How Jung explains the connections that burn in the unconscious. What makes two people among billions feel like they've known each other for ages? Jung revealed that our psyche holds invisible maps. The archetypes, universal patterns that shape how we love, suffer, and find completion. When someone awakens a strange familiarity in you, it's because that person activated something deep. Perhaps the Anima, the sacred feminine in man, or the Animus, the essential masculine in woman, forces that seek balance within us. But be careful. This recognition is not pure magic. It comes with a price. Projections. Without realizing it, we cover the other with our unlived expectations, buried fears, and hidden desires. That love that seems perfect? It may be nothing more than your own inner world, still undiscovered, reflected in the partner's mirror. That's how the unconscious pushes us toward individuation, the path to becoming who we truly are. Here's the paradox: the more intense the connection, the more it exposes your wounds. The relationship becomes a ritual of emotional alchemy, where the gold of truth only appears after we burn away the illusions, and it is precisely this friction that turns passion into evolution. In the end, Jung teaches us that destined love is not about finding your missing half, but about awakening the wholeness that already exists within you, with or without the other. The question remains, are you willing to face that mirror? The mirror of darkness, when love reveals what you've hidden from yourself. Every soul encounter brings a poisoned gift, the ability to see in your partner everything you can't yet see in yourself. At first, it's all light, that comforting smile, the gaze that promises infinite understanding. But soon comes the shock. What irritates you in the other is exactly what you deny in yourself. This is the awakening of the shadow, the hidden side that Jung warned is essential for growth, the anger that rises when he's distant, the jealousy that burns when she smiles at others. These monsters aren't born of love, but from parts of you that still live in darkness. Deep relationships function like emotional tornadoes, churning up the psyche's underground and bringing to the surface wounds you swore were forgotten. Here lies the divine irony. The very person who promised to make you feel whole will be the catalyst of your greatest pain. Not out of cruelty, but because real love doesn't spare you. It heals. Every argument, every tear shed is a chance to integrate lost pieces of yourself. In the end, you'll understand. The shadow is not your enemy. It is the wisest teacher your heart could find. And this relationship? Merely the classroom where you'll finally learn to embrace who you truly are. Light and darkness, fear and courage, fragility and strength, all at once. The myth that pulses in our blood. Why some loves feel written in the stars. Since the earliest tales of humanity, one story keeps repeating. Two souls separated by fate, yet united by a force greater than death itself. Psyche and Eros, Tristan, and Isolde, Romeo and Juliet. These myths are no accident. They reveal the archetype of eternal love. A pattern etched into the code of our collective psyche, making us yearn for connections that transcend time. When you meet someone and feel that strange certainty of having lived this before, you are experiencing this archetype in action. It's not new. It's eternal. This love that feels predestined doesn't follow ordinary rules. It burns hotter, hurts deeper, and leaves marks that time cannot erase. Why? Because it touches something primal within you. But beware, this archetype is a fire that both illuminates and consumes. Many mistake its calling for the search for a perfect, happy ending, when in fact it invites something far more intense. The journey of transformation through love. It's not about finding someone to complete you, but someone who compels you to complete yourself. In the silence of night, when this love echoes in your chest like an ancestral drum, you'll understand. You're not merely living a love story. You're rewriting with your own hands a myth that has traveled across millennia to reach you. And that changes everything. The silence that teaches. When absence becomes the greatest teacher. The pain of separation feels like a cruel paradox, especially when the connection was so intense. But what if this emptiness isn't the end, but a portal? Jung saw distance as the crucible of the soul, where illusions dissolve to reveal what truly matters. It's not an escape, it's a necessary retreat, like the tide receding so new shapes can emerge in the sand. As time passes and longing tightens its grip, something invisible works behind the scenes. Each lonely night, each doubt hammering in your chest is sculpting you from within. Here's the secret. True love doesn't disappear. It metamorphoses. Distance forces you to face questions that the comfort of the relationship kept asleep. Who are you when no one is watching? When you understand that certain separations are trials by fire sent by the universe itself, everything changes. What seemed like loss transforms into encounter with yourself. And that, perhaps, is the most sacred lesson. Sometimes we need to be alone to discover we were never truly apart, just on opposite sides of the same mirror, growing toward a new chance. When the stars align a second time, the rebirth of love. The true reunion is never just a return, it's a rebirth. Two souls crossing paths again, but now as more complete versions of themselves. That gaze which once promised happiness now reveals something deeper. The silent recognition of someone who has faced their own shadows and come back. No longer two bodies trying to fill voids, but two conscious beings ready to share fullness. What changes in this second chance? Everything and nothing. The chemistry remains, but the need disappears. The same hands that once trembled with jealousy now embrace with security. The lips that once spoke harsh words now understand the value of compassionate silence. This is the miracle of relational alchemy. When time doesn't separate but purifies. When distance doesn't pull apart, but deepens, and then you understand. The greatest loves are not the ones that never end, but the ones that know how to die and be reborn as many times as necessary. Because when two souls are truly intertwined at the level of the self, every goodbye is just an interlude between one act and the next in the same cosmic masterpiece. The stage is set. The next act, it will be written with 4 hands. The cosmic dance of souls, the true meaning of life-changing encounters. Some connections were not meant just to make us happy, but to make us whole. Destined love, in Jung's view, is much more than a fairy tale. It is a spiritual rite of passage, where every tear, every moment of separation, and every reunion are invisible steps toward our wholeness. These relationships act like magical mirrors, showing not only who we are, but who we have the potential to become when we bravely integrate all of our parts. The ancient alchemists sought to turn lead into gold. Our inner work is no different. True love transforms pain into wisdom, loneliness into self-knowledge, separation into liberation. When you finally understand this, you realize that no encounter was in vain, even those that ended in painful. Goodbyes fulfilled their sacred role in your evolution, and so we reach the essence. The greatest gift a destined soul can offer us is not eternal companionship, but the courage to dive deep within ourselves. Because in the end, the love that truly matters is not the one that completes us, but the one that reminds us we were complete all along, and that revelation, that one stays forever. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like, comment, and share. Thank you, and see you in the next video.